Krishna is telling Yudhishthir that now that you're going to be the emperor, you should ask Bhishma how to rule the world, how to be an ideal king, how to be kind to your, compassionate to your subjects, how to behave with your subjects. Yudhishthir is looking at him, how can I ask a dying man who's in so much pain all these questions? Because Krishna wanted to show that my devotee is always in perfect intelligence, no matter how and in what circumstances they are in. That is what is holding on those qualities that Krishna has given. Bhishma was holding them tight and he was perfect. There's whole in first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there's a whole passage where there's a dialogue, a conversation between Yudhishthir and Bhishma speaking perfect knowledge. In that much pain, it's so difficult. So that's why Krishna says, Sato Vrite. Rupa Goswami says, follow what they are doing. In their times of difficulties, they did not lose patience. They had firm faith on Krishna, and Krishna awarded them also. There was this story of a monkey, I'll tell you last time. Old monkey, just remind me. I'll immediately introduce the next topic. So what are the favorable things that are there? The first way to surrender to Krishna is accept favorable things in Krishna consciousness. What are the favorable things? Utsahan, Nishchaya, Dhairya, Tat Karma Pravartana, that is do's and don'ts, and Sanga Tyaga, Sato Vritte. Quick recap: Utsaha means enthusiasm, that means we have to shed off lethargy. Nishchaya is confidence and determination, throwing all the doubts out, reading the scriptures and throwing all the doubts out. And then Dhairyat is patience, patiently endeavoring, understanding that what Krishna has given, this is the prime benediction. If I simply show some patience, I'll definitely reach perfection of devotional service. Tat Karma Pravartana is following regulated principles, means acting on the basis of these. Association, book reading, chanting, diet, that's prasad or deity worship. Correct? And how much more I'm attracted to these things, how much more repulsive I am to meat eating, illicit sex, gambling and intoxication will show how much more I've improved in my bhakti. Correct? Sanga Tyaga, abandoning association of non-devotees, that means not giving your heart out to them, not indulging in the sinful activities that they are practicing. Correct? And dealing as much as necessary with outsiders, family members, setting a very patient example. Satovritte, following footsteps of previous acharyas. All the acharyas of Srimad Bhagavatam, other acharyas that are there. The second point on how to surrender is Pratikulyasya Varjanam. What is Pratikulyasya Varjanam? Means there are some things we need to avoid. Suppose if you want to lose weight, there are some things you need to avoid. There are some things you need to do. So what you need to do is here for bhakti. What you don't need to do is these things. The shloka I've put up here. Atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha jana shangascha lolyamcha shadbhir bhakti vinashyati. Now the first shloka we had prasiddhyati. Opposite of that is vinashyati, means it will spoil our bhakti. Atyahara. What is Atyahara? Let me read. One's devotional service is spoiled when he becomes too entangled in the following 6 activities. Number 1, Ati Ahar. Overeating or collecting too much funds. Keeping too much money more than necessary. Hoarding mentality. Basically hoarding mentality. Now here Ati Ahar. Ahar means only food. वो तो टंग के लिए हो गया. Actually we have 5 senses, means giving more than necessary to the 5 senses. Too much TV, too much drugs, more than necessary. That is atyahar. Not only eating, this is for everything. Means to all our 5 senses giving more than necessary. Even illicit sex, that is atyahar. And then Atyahar prayas means something which can be achieved very easily. Would be putting too much an endeavor, because we have that greed. Means I'll put in extra endeavor. What it takes, your important human life is going in that, rather than spending time in bhakti, to Krishna consciousness. Atyahara prayasascha prajalpa. I am sure everyone knows what is prajalpa. Nahi? Gossip. I know this. I know how to do that. Yes, actually, Rupa Goswami says that sound vibration is extremely important. Some sound has such an important function to perform. It leaves such a massive impact on the mind, on the subtle body, that a mind can remember it for lifetimes to come. Even if he hears one thing, in spite of being, I've been in Krishna consciousness for a lot of time. I'm still trying to be a devotee, but songs which I've heard like ages back, and I've not heard it for years together, sometimes just come in your mind. Why? It's not that someone is playing it, just randomly it's come. Something very irritating I heard, but still it will keep coming back, because sound is very important. In fact, it is said that the Lord created this world by simply His word, just by sound. It's very important. So this prajalpa, when people gossip, there's a whole negative vibration which is created, which affects the heart. It affects the consciousness, drags it down. Whatever bhakti has given, it will drag it down. So that is prajalpa. Niyamagraha. What is niyamagraha? What is niyam?
Regulate.
Yeah, rules. Niyam means rules. So, yeah, where is my translation?
You can write it next time, no? You'll give it with the meaning.
Yeah, with the meaning. Eating more than necessary, collecting more funds than required, that is atyahara. Over endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain, that is prayas, too much endeavor. Talking unnecessarily about mundane and subject matters. He is talking when there is no need to talk also. That is prajalpa. Niyamagraha is practicing the scriptural rules and regulations only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement. You know what will happen? It will become so mechanical, and one day you will give it up. Mechanical things are boring. We don't understand that this is my goal. I am doing it for spiritual advancement. That is niyamagraha. And jana sangascha. That is again associating with worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. It's not necessary to associate with them, but we still are associating. And sixth is lolyam. What is lolyam? Being greedy for mundane achievements. Fame, prestige, name, followers. Lot of, great devotees fall down because of this lolyam. Okay? So these 6 things we'll discuss next Thursday. Is Prasad there? I'll come with Prasad. So Narad Muni speaks to Brahma, and he tells him that, Kali Yuga is such a contaminated age. How do I transcend it without getting contaminated? So at that time, Brahma speaks this shloka: Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And then he says, Iti Shodashaka Nam Nam. He says that this Shoda is 16. These 16 syllables are the only upay. Na tara parataro upay. He says, Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. He says, if you search the entire Vedas, you will not find any upay greater than this for Kali Yuga. Only for Kali Yuga, not for Satya Treta Dwapar. Only for Kali Yuga, this is the only way. You can chant that also. I'm not saying that you can't chant, but Hare Krishna Mahamantra is compulsory.
Because it's so like from childhood,
Of course.
when we put our kids to sleep, we only chant or Shri Krishna Shanam Mama. So whenever when you want to chant Hare Ram Hare Krishna, when this Maha Mantra, when you need but subconsciously only Shri Krishna Mama keeps coming.
Something better than nothing at least. Something better than nothing at least. That's what I would say. But this is what Lord Brahma says for Kali Yuga. And in other Brihadaranyaka Upanishad also, Srimad Bhagavatam specifically. And the thing is, Sonali, I can mention it to you, that when the Lord, He takes an avatar in Kali Yuga, and He gives Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That's why, we're emphasizing Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is called Maha Mantra because it's actually much more significant and potent. Not that others are less. I'm not demeaning them. but because this is personally given by the Lord. He's invested all his powers, all his benedictions in this 16 syllables of his holy names. That's why it's so powerful for Kali Yuga. Because Kali Yuga is ridden with faults. Even in Srimad Bhagavatam there is one verse, he says, Kale dosha nidhe rajan. Tell me Prabhuji Kamala. Kale dosha nidhe. Nidhe is an ocean. Kale is this Kali Yuga. Kale dosha. Dosh is faults. So Sukdev Goswami, he tells Parikshit Maharaj that this Kali Yuga is ridden with faults. Asti eko mahan guna. There's only one mahan guna. He says, Kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangha param vraje. He said, if you want to go to the param Brajdham, it's only one way. You have to chant Hari's holy name. And then later on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes. Of course he gives. And in the 14th, 15th century he came down in Bengal and he gave this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And that's why we emphasize it. Everyone thinks that it's an ISKCON now. It's not like that.
Yeah, I know that. But
It's there in the scriptures.